We finally get it through everybody's head that no, you can't be racist towards white people. Yes, people of color can be racist towards other people of color, but people of color cannot be racist towards white people. You can't be racist towards white people because to be racist you need to have two things: privilege and power.
I hate to intrude on your narrative already, but there's a little something called affirmative action, which prioritizes people of color and women when applying for jobs or colleges. Picking them because of their skin color instead of qualifications is called racism.
Yes, the dictionary definition of racism is to hate another race, but the sociology definition, shout out to my mother's college degree, explains racism as privilege and power. And white people have both.
Allow me to direct your attention to Paul Joseph Watson for this next part.
It's okay for social justice warriors to claim, just look at the dictionary definition when it comes to feminism.
All you morons who are too f***ing stupid to look up the definition of feminism.
With no mention of the fact that radical feminism, in practice, has virtually nothing to do with the dictionary definition of feminism, but suddenly different rules apply when you're talking about racism.
Since white people have privilege and power when they commit crimes and their sentences and punishments are less than those of people of color who committed the same crimes, or when they're sentenced to only 6 months in jail for raping a girl. Current events and videos, woo!
Brock Turner's sentence was lighter most likely because he was wealthy and an athlete. I'm not saying that makes it okay. I mean, the day he was released, there were armed people threatening to kill him if it happened again.
And I'm not saying that because you're white, you should feel bad about yourself all the time. You shouldn't. You're probably a good person. I'm just saying, I better never hear you say, they said I couldn't dance because I'm white. They're racist. They're racist. They're racist. Because that's not racism. Prejudice, yes, but that's not racism.
Call it whatever you want, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a racist statement, since you're associating a certain ability, or in this case lack thereof, with a certain group of people because of their skin color.
Prejudice is not racism. You see, if I say, white people don't season their foods, it doesn't affect the average white person. Okay, maybe Gordon Ramsay, but you get the point.
No, that wouldn't affect the average white person, because it sounds like it's honestly just a joke. I've personally never even heard anyone say that. I know whites who season their food and people of color who don't. It all depends on your personal preferences and has nothing to do with race or ethnicity, so why even bother saying something like that in the first place?
If I say, black people love fried chicken, it does affect the average black person, reinforcing black stereotypes.
So stereotypes about whites and their food preferences are totally okay, but stereotypes about blacks and their food preferences are wrong? It's not like they're really saying anything negative about either of them.
People of color have always been oppressed. White people have not. And if you think they have, then that's called white privilege. What's up with that bullshit? White people are not oppressed. White people can't understand racial oppression when they have never been in the context of experiencing racial oppression. Therefore, you cannot be racist towards white people.
Oh, really? So what about the 4 black teens in Chicago that kidnapped a white teen, tortured him, and forced him to use profanity to degrade white people and President Trump? What about when a woman attacked a white person in Canada while screaming, "I hate white people," but a judge said it wasn't racially motivated? The article continues to say that there's no evidence of what the offender meant or whether she holds or promotes an ideology which would explain why this assault was aimed at this victim. What about the article on everyday feminism that offers a course in healing from toxic whiteness, as though being white is some bad habit that should be discouraged? How far will the social justice crowd take it before they realize they're promoting the very thing they claim to be against? Disguising an act of racism as prejudice just sounds like an attempt to lessen the severity of the situation and, in turn, absolve minorities of responsibility for their actions. For those who still disagree and want to argue otherwise, allow me to quote Shakespeare. "A rose by any other name would smell as sweet. Racism by any other name is still racism."
Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer. Come on, shake your body, baby, do that conga. No, you can't control yourself any longer.